and welcome to the show. We are here today on Forza Horizon 4 with another challenge. Now, we've done Lucky Dip Racing before, where we use website Kudos Prime that has the whole list of all the cars you can get in Horizon 4, press a random button in a certain class, and everyone goes racing with the cars that they are given. Today's is going to be a little bit different to that. So, we have been randomly drawn cars that start in C-Class. However, rather than having them auto-upgraded to a specific class, we were going to build the cars for a multi-class little tournament. So we'd start off with a C-Class car, we'd race it, build it to the top of C-Class, then build it to B-Class, A-Class, and then A-Class for off-roading. After all of those races, the points would be put together and we'd see which car has come out on top. Now I was drawn a Peugeot, the 205 T16, that I very much like. I had some concerns about the car, but it was not the worst vehicle in the world that you could have been given to start this off with. So, for our first race, we will be taking all of the vehicles in C-Class. Now, I have been drawn a 205, which I love the 205. It is one of my favourite hot hatches, certainly the GTI anyway. The T16 is a legendary rally car. In Forzas, it's always quite difficult to make it work. In C-Class, I had a grand total of 3 PI to play with, which means the upgrades I could do was 1 stage of brakes, a diff because it doesn't take any PI, and a gearbox, so I could actually shorten the gear ratios and make it vaguely set off from the line. I'm not sure C-Class is going to be great for this. Now, there is all sorts of other interesting vehicles in here. Of course, there's an Escalade, for example, that I'm hoping I might be better than. All-wheel drive will do me well to an extent, but yeah, we're going to have to see how this works. I mean, there are worse vehicles you could end up having had around here. Oh god. So the 205 is quite oversteery for an all-wheel drive car, a little bit like Delta S4. Funnily enough, Group B cars, who would have thought? But yeah, it has that trait of being quite a naturally oversteery all-wheel drive. The Williams Clio is terrifying, if I'm honest. We are expecting that to be very, very quick. It might struggle in the higher classes a little bit, but in general, front-wheel drive cars can actually be very good in this game. For some reason, the front-wheel drive French cars, the Renaults, are savagely fast in Horizon 4. The Falcon, that's an interesting prospect. I'm actually amazed my 205 has kind of flown up through the order, which I was not expecting whatsoever here. The Williams are going to be stuck on the outside. So, the battle that we are going to have in a minute looks like it'll be me with a little bit more speed than the Renault, but nowhere near the grip, against the Ford that is going to have way more speed than both of us, but nowhere near the grip of me or the Clio. I just don't know if I can fight with that Clio Williams. I don't know whether I'm better off actually not fighting with the Clio Williams. The Countryman's actually got some speed through there as well, which is alarming. If I get passed by a Mini Countryman, I mean, it is Impega driving, but still, that is it brings great shame to a legendary rally car if that thing finds a way past. It's a very nice colour of oh bloody hell! It's a very nice colour of Countryman. However, it is still the most hideous car. Well, no, not quite the most hideous, but one of the most hideous cars. Oh, Clio got street furnitured. Oh, Clio got street furnitured, and I think lag boosted forward, perhaps. I don't know. I don't know about that at all. Now, you see, I could have had a dive up the inside there. The thing is, if I had, I would have then made myself very slow on the exit of that corner, and I still lost out by turn 1 anyway. If it'd be the final lap, it'd be a different story. At the moment, this is more a case of, let's try and catch the Ford, let's not get overtaken by the not Mini that is behind us. The Falcon smacked the wall on the exit of turn 1 there. So I'm going to guess, in the Falcon you get a little bit of PI to play with, judging by its speed, and, well, I'm going to guess that's just mostly gone into power through that. I am really, really pleasantly surprised by my 205, I have to say. I'm really very surprised by my 205. It is remarkably competent in this. I thought this class was going to be a nightmare for it. As I said, I love the 205, but I've never made a T16 ever work in a Forza game. There goes the Clio, looking like it might be making a move, possibly up against that. The problem is it's going to catch and then it just can't get past. Now this could help me in the quest for second. Well, I say second. My quest is to beat the Falcon, ultimately. Sylvia's up to 4th place now behind us. Yeah, my hope is to beat the Falcon. I think the only way I can beat the Falcon is if the Clio slows it down. Now, there is a tiny chance I could get the cheesiest of victories if they fight each other. However, that does rely on me not making any stupid errors like that through turn 1. We have pulled well clear. In fact, Impega's Countryman has now fallen down through the order. Well, we get kind of ringside viewing of this battle, just about. We can just about see the battle. It doesn't quite disappear around the corners for us. Gliska may well have a very big dive up the inside here to take the lead away. In fact, Longbow might not be that fussed about losing the lead here. The thinking being, well, it's just going to out-drag towards the next corner. So you don't lose all your time defending. You just focus on the bits of the track where you can be fast at. And Longbow knows at the end of the day it's going to be a drag race to the finish line, whatever happens, and that's the thing that's going to be won by the Falcon. I am too far back to capitalise, and in fact, I've got to be a little bit careful. I'm not sure what the car is in 4th, but that has been catching. That has been catching, I think, a little bit. So, admittedly, yeah, that wasn't the best lap by me. Mid-scruffy through turn 1. That's how we do it. Yeah, if I could have not hit that wall, we'd been closer. I don't think I have the pace of those two quite. But for the C-Class where I really, really thought I was going to struggle, I'm very, very happy with this performance. 3rd place is going to net us a good amount of points for the overall, overall standing, if you like. Oh, I've just kept my foot down in 4th through all of there. Longbow, yeah, I mean, I can't get them. I can't get them because even if I got alongside Longbow, I can throw it up the inside. It doesn't matter that things have got too much speed. Longbow's now going to try go. In fact, we'll get past. Kind of. It's just that drag race once again. Is it going to be enough for the Falcon to get it to the finish line? I think the Falcon's going to do it. Just fantastic battle. Little couple of mistakes from me. Couple too many mistakes from me in that one. I think ultimately I'm a few tenths down a lap. Longbow takes victory with the Falcon ahead of the Clio. I get 3rd. Oh, is the Impala up in 4th? That we really thought was going to struggle in C-Class. But no, the Impala did good. Impala did well indeed. The Countryman slipped to 6th ahead of the CRX Clips. Escalade, Pontiac down in 10th ahead of the Camaro. And I didn't quite see what round out the bottom of the table. Okay, for a race I thought I was going to struggle in, a podium, that is not too bad at all. I'm pleased so far with the 205. So, for the next race, we move up to B class. Now, I've built my car in a way, basically. I don't know whether it's going to work. You see, I'm still on the vehicle standard tyres. While I have got maximum tyre widths, I kind of focused on the power. I figured the 205, the T16 version, is pretty light. It's about £2,500 to start with, which is, not all that heavy. If I went for tyres, I'd have absolutely no PI for any sort of power, so I literally just threw power at it. I don't know whether this is going to work. I say through power, it's about 300, 280, something along those lines. It's not going to be as powerful as the likes of the Falcon. It will depend on what other vehicles have done here. The Falcon could have 1,000 horsepower in B class. It could have about 300 and sticky tyres. We won't know. I'm certainly not slow down the straight, which is good news. The problem is going to be just how bad is it through the corners. Not terrible, actually. The Mini is better than I am, but that might be to be expected. I am thinking not many cars are going to be running on their standard tyres. You can get away with it in B class. B class is a smidge more forgiving, and I have been relatively lucky. Oh, that's too wide through there. I've been relatively lucky with a kind grid spot, and of course all-wheel drive launch will help me out here. Now, there were no rules. You could change the driveline on other cars if you so wished. That was entirely up to the builders, if you like. We are but no match for the Mini in the corners. That thing's surprisingly good. I mean, I laughed at the Mini being drawn, I'm not going to lie. It's a hideous, terrible thing. However, it's obviously not all that slow. Here we go. We have got the top-end speed on the Mini. Where is the Falcon? A little bit further back. It is now catching. Okay, this is going to be an interesting little battle here. We know the Clio Williams. I don't know where. Oh, Clio Williams is at the back. That may have missed a checkpoint at the start. Oh, I'm not going to hold on around there. Run out of grip on the outside of that corner. That's a problem for me. Yeah, so the Clio Williams has had a bad round. Now, of course, it's a 4-race championship, but you're going to want to be scoring some solid points as best you can in all of the events. So a missed checkpoint in one could be very costly. If that is what happens, I don't know. Can we fire up the inside of the Falcon here? Yes, we can. We will get to the door. I'm really surprised to see that Mini running away as fast as it is. That's quite impressive. If I hadn't ballsed up turn 1, we could have maybe made a little bit more of a fight of it. What is that car up in 4th? The CRX might be coming to join the party. I mean, we're going to see... the idea is, the hope is we're going to see this kind of ebb and flow of cars being faster and slower maybe in different classes. The Falcon's quick, but it isn't actually all that much faster than me here. We're going to get it slowed down for turn 1. For turn panic and hope the back end sticks to the road. I think I have more oversteer than the bloody rear-wheel drive Aussie muscle car in this thing. Yeah, we could maybe done with a little bit more rear end grip. Now I do have race suspension on the car here to try and quell the slightly wobbly rally suspension that it starts with here. I've messed that up massively there. Come on, be better than that. Need to do better. Need to do better with the 205. I've still got the grip to fight against the Falcon for now. Danger Man's missed a checkpoint with the Escalade. The biggest car on the track has managed to miss. Fair, probably not the easiest to drive around here. I always say this is a bit of a funny circuit in some regards. It has a long straight. Oh, there's a Falcon over there. I left it too late. I'm itching my nose. I left it too late to look and move across. That's my bad on that one. Falcon is going to get us into turn 1. My hope is I might actually now be able to duck underneath it. Oh, maybe give it a little. There's a little lean. It's just a smidge. The back end of this just doesn't stick on the road. Like you throw it into a corner, it looks absolutely fine, and then the back end's just nope. I'm going to do my own thing, and my own thing is going to involve wandering across the road as much as possible. Now, that is the corner that is catching me out. Doesn't normally. I love that turn. It's probably my favourite turn on this particular circuit. Very good corner. I'm just being caught out. I think I'm not used to a car. Say with this little grip, perhaps. I'm just expecting it to have more grip. Now behind me I've got the two... Oh god, everything's behind us. Bloody hell. I do not want to be a part of this group. Nope, I don't want to be here. Muscle cars fight with Honda. Impega's going to win by an absolute mile. Whether I could have challenged had I not made mistakes and fought with Longbow, I'm not actually sure I could have done. That's the scary thing here. Again, though, the 205 is not doing too badly here. Let's not oversteer massively through turn 1. A little bit of understeer, but we get it through there cleanly. Let's not do anything stupid for the remainder of this lap. Yeah, I think even if I have a good lap, I think I could maybe hold up Impega for a little while. I could maybe be an annoyance, but I think ultimately that Mini does seem quicker than me. Yeah. We'll see. Maybe I'll get a mega final lap here. I don't know. That was a little scruffy. It wasn't perfect, but it was good enough. It's just keeping the hordes behind me at bay. Yeah, we're losing out to that. That Mini's got some serious speed. I will give it that much. And we head around the final corner. Ewan is right there with the CRX. It won't match me to the start-finish line, though. The CRX has the grip, doesn't have the straight line speed. Longbow's on the grass trying to fight away past the Honda. Will get a podium position in all of that one. Ooh. Okay, I'm actually very pleasantly surprised about that. Jeez, that Countryman was quick. That Countryman was ridiculously fast. So I presume the Clio did miss a checkpoint down the bottom, seeing its fastest lap. But even the Clio wasn't as fast as the Countryman around there. That's how fast that Mini was. Camaro was quick, CRX was quick, as was the Silvia, or quicker than I was. Okay, I think I could have maybe got a high 1 minute sort of dead with a bit better. Some scruffy laps from me. Still, it's another podium. It's consistent points for the 205. Falcon also scoring very, very well yet again. So far, the 205 has been really rather surprising me, if I'm honest. It has been working quite nicely. I have got a tougher grid spot now. We're down in 9th position here. Ooh, the Clio's all the way at the back. The Countryman's up in 4th. The Escalade's on pole. Who knows how this is going to work. I've got the Falcon and the Clio behind me. I know I'm going to launch faster than the Falcon, or likely to launch faster than the Falcon and the Clio. Yeah, A-Class, I mean, might be where you expect the 205 to work better. I have got a turbo rally engine in it. We're on sport tyres. The PI is using so much PI if I went for anything other than sport tyres. So it might be a little bit more monstrous. We'll have to wait and see. I'm hoping we can jump a few cars down towards turn 1. We do get a good start here in the Peugeot. Now, because we're on tarmac at the moment, it is still on that race suspension, so I'm a little nervous of the curbs. Oh, God, that CRX has got some grip. So now we're going to start seeing some different stuff. I think I might struggle more. Ooh, I say I might struggle more in some ways in A-Class. We'll have to wait and see. The problem I have with the 205, I fear, I don't have very many. Well, I don't have very good engines. The standard engine is actually better than I thought it was going to be in B and C class. Turbo Rally can be good, but in this class here, say in this field, with what I'm up against at the moment, I think I'm going to be woefully outpowered. I just don't have the engine option, and I can't go madder with my car. I'd be tempted to. Christ, that Impala, I don't know what that's got under the bonnet, but it's a lot more than I do. We're just going to let them do their thing. They can just bugger off into the distance. Yeah, they're going to do that, and Pega is leading the way once again with that Mini. We can't be beat. I mean, I know we choked about it the first race. Turned out the second race it was bloody good. We cannot let a Mini bloody countryman win this. If it wins here, it's got an off-road event, which, let's face it, it is probably one of the favourites for. This is a mad little group of cars that we are trying to join in. The Firebird, this might actually be around now that the Firebird A-Class might be slightly more suited to. Really struggling to make that car work in lower classes. It's still struggling a little bit, it would seem. The 205, we move up into 7th place. The Firebird has a big dive. There's just nowhere for me to go at the moment. There's too many cars in front. The Clio is going to be marching its way up into this field as well in a second. There's a group in a second. That's a scary thought, because I know I'm not really going to have much to be able to resist that one. We have got kind of a run on the Firebird. Do we outrun the Firebird? Down the straight? I don't know. The Clio's got some speed. Longbow wanted the inside. Scotty wanted it more, and Scotty will keep hold of that. Oh, see, I don't trust the back of my car through any of that. Oh, I think Gliska ended up clonking the fence on the outside of all of that. There's just, yeah, so many cars fighting for position through all of that. Yeah, no one's got an answer at the moment for dealing with the bloody Mini. I can't believe that's the car we've got problems with now. It would have lost some points early on. The Impala might go and chase it down. See, this is the thing that we're kind of at this stage. Here comes the Camaro that does have power. So I just don't have... There's not even a way I can build my car here that well to fight that level of speed. I guess... Oh, no. I guess you could maybe go Turbo Rally, really just forego any sort of tyres, but like even that is not enough to battle with, well, that Camaro, basically. We are very much stuck in the mid-pack here. The 205 is not terrible. I'd like a little bit more, it's just that rear end, I'd like a little bit more rear end stability in the car at this point. I'd just like to be able to push it. I say it's stuck in the mid-pack, we're actually in 9th at the moment. It feels like mid-pack because everything's all quite close ahead of us. But yeah, this is bad news, very bad news for me in terms of points. I really needed to clear the Firebird, I just couldn't get a move. I couldn't get a move to stay ahead of that car. Now, there might be a chance if it tangles with the Camaro here. If it's having to take funny lines dealing with the Camaro, I think I am a little faster than the Firebird. Yeah, it's going to try... Yeah, that's what I need to see. I needed to try and find a way... Oh, well, I've now got twitchiness going on in the 205. That's not good at all here. I can't really battle with the Camaro. My turn to be stuck on the outside. Use some of that Turbo Rally... Well, some of the Turbo Rally power. We do get past the Firebird this time around. Make sure I don't bulge it up into turn 1 now. Is going to be an important bit. The Impala is howling off after that Mini at the front. I would much rather the Impala win for the sake of the championship and for the sake of all of our prides. The Camaro now might actually cause the CRX some grief, although I've had a massive oversteer moment, and that's throwing away any chance I had of 8th, I think, in all of this. It's still all on for 6th place here. Camaro's battling away now with the Firebird. There's going to be a half a gap here that I am not going to pass up the opportunity for. We'll get the 205 up into 8th place once more. Come on. Oh, I think the CRX missed a checkpoint. That looks like a missed checkpoint if ever I saw one. Just running up the hill, try to cut it a little too fine somewhere, and that is the CRX out of a checkpoint. It does. Oh, it looks like the Impala might actually take the victory here. After all of this, it looks like Longbow with that Falcon's got buried in traffic further up. I mean, championship points-wise, it's good news Impega didn't take the victory there. I lost out. The 205 was not working at that circuit. I didn't think it might be a stretch. I mean, lap times, we're not that bad off. We're just a little too much. We're just a smidge off. And it was tougher being further down the pack as well, trying to just sort of cut your way forward. Actually, lap times were not... Second covered a lot of cars in that one. Okay. Wasn't a podium, wasn't the strongest round for the 205. However, could have gone worse. We'll see what the last round brings. So, for the final round of this sort of lucky dip tournament, if you will, we're sticking with A-Class. However, we are going off-road. Now, yes, the 205 is a legendary rally car. However, I am a little bit nervous. The Mini is likely to be fast here. If that's been as quick as it has elsewhere, I don't see a reason why it wouldn't work here. I've got rally tyres, I'm all-wheel drive, relatively light. I've again got the Turbo Rally engine. Of course I have the full sort of Pikes Peak aero kit on the car. You can't go rallying with a 205 on this game and not have the full kit. In fact, the Mini... I don't know whether that gets the off-road racing tyres. If it does, so there is a slightly different compound of tyre that goes on SUVs and like racing buggies and all of that sort of thing. It's a special off-road compound that is marginally better on the dirt. It's not by a massive amount, but it is a little smidge better. And I don't know whether the Mini is going to count for that one or not. I'm a smidge, well, I'll say I'm a smidge scared of everything, actually, in this car. The downside of the 205 is, once it starts getting up to A-Class, that oversteeriness very quickly becomes twitchiness. Oh, yeah, we're 4 wide. Fantastic. The Escalade might also have the chunky off-road race tyres that would probably help it no end, and I've just been boxed out of this entirely. I'm trying to cut back to the inside. We might manage to get a run on the Falcon here. You see, we had a very, very strong start to this tour. I don't know. At the time of filming this while racing, I don't know where I stand in the points. I don't know what I need and who needs to be where. I think the Countryman is going to be very, very difficult to beat as it currently stands. Oh, the other thing I have downside with me, I've just remembered tyre widths are not very big. Oh, and we're being screwed. Someone pinged off a wall and just fired me out of the track, and that is our day done. That is game over for the 205. That is horrifically bad news for me. That might ruin our chances of a third. That might ruin our chance. I mean, we haven't had as much bad luck as Glitzka has with the Clio that is very fast, that should be very fast. But yeah, that is going to be a bad time for me. Now it's just about, can I recover any positions? I believe, well, there might still be some missed checkpoints. Let's not forget this. Missed checkpoints are a thing that are going to happen, can happen. Now, I think Aaron may have missed a checkpoint, possibly. Up ahead. I believe Scotty's car is rear-wheel drive. Ewan's CRX did not look massively quick, which makes me think that may have been left front, or may just not be liking this. Of course, the front-wheel drive converted to all-wheel drive can be twitchy. My car is just naturally twitchy, it would seem. Can we have a fine? I mean, if we can get a 10th here, that's another point, basically. It might come down to it needing that sort of a thing. Oh, God, around here. Might be able to duck underneath. Not quite. They're just going to out-drag. That's all we've got to do here, just outrun. No, the CRX, by the looks of it, got into trouble somewhere. I'm not quite sure where it got into trouble, but did get into trouble and just fell back a smidge. I'm not sure I had an amazingly quick car to begin with around this track, but oh, I don't know. I don't know whether there might have been a lag ping on that way. It looks, despite the fact I was a mile away from the from the Eclipse there, it looked like the Eclipse got tagged and just fired wide. Oh no, bad 205. I feel like, yeah, I might have struggled to score too highly up on the leaderboard. Regardless, just the twitchiness, the twitchy nature of this car, very, very easy to get the better of you. Hyper's having a bad day with the RSX somewhere around there. Who have we got? Yeah, I think while I don't know the actual points, I think, annoyingly, the car we all laughed at is probably going to be the one that is going to be fastest, that is going to be the one to take a victory. Gliska's horrifically unlucky day continues, as there's another missed checkpoint for the poor Cleo Williams. Yeah, I mean, sure, this race has gone wrong. I think that's 3 races now that have gone wrong for that poor Cleo that should have been very fast. That is also likely to be on the very twitchy side as well, around here. Front-wheel drive to all-wheel drive conversion tends to do that. The Impala is actually very quick here. Yeah, the Impala's doing very well indeed. Where is the Falcon? That's up in 4th. I think it will be Mini first, Falcon second. After that, I don't know. I was in contention, and if I could have scored well here, I think I would have stood a very good chance of 3rd. But the Impala might have got enough points back in these later rounds. We'll have to see. Although, yeah, I don't know. We'll have to find out. The Pontiac, the Trans Am's actually doing very well around here, which I was not expecting necessarily. Come on, 205. Just fend off that Clio. 9th would be, I mean, oh, Clio was not expecting that. I mean, the Clio had to have a go. Like, fair play. The Clio absolutely had to have a go. I was fully not prepared for it, but it fired past, didn't clonk the door. It's all good. We're almost in trouble around that final corner. We will take a 9th place in the end of all that. Ooh. Yeah, to be fair, the 205 wasn't great. I could probably have run maybe a round with the Cadillac. Yeah, I was just struggling for lap pace, full stop, in that car. It's a little too twitchy, just doesn't get big enough tyres to be competitive in this field, which is a smidge of a shame. So, A-Class didn't work. Other classes worked a lot better than I ever expected them to. We shall have to look at the leaderboards. So, on to the points, and it would be the Mini that would take victory. In fact, a relatively comfortable victory for the Mini in this one. It's 8 points clear of the second place car. It did struggle in C-Class, but after that, it was really, really rather quick. No one was quite expecting that one to be as good as it actually was. The off-road stuff I could understand with the tyres, but yeah, that was not expected. The Falcon would end up in second place. The Impala would take third. Only a point separated those two cars in the end. The Impala started off not quite as good, but got better as the events went on. The Falcon was consistently in the top 3. I started off strongly. C and B class was good for the 205, but it did tail away in the higher classes. I just beat out the Sylvia. The Firebird started off very poorly in the lower classes, but did get faster later on, ahead of the Camaro. The Escalade didn't do too terribly. Could never really score high up points, but did continue to get points. The CRX, we didn't actually see too much of that, struggled a little bit. The Clio was unlucky, apparently very, very twitchy, very difficult to drive. Missed a few checkpoints, and while quick on a lap, was just a little bit too difficult to drive overall. That would round out ahead of the Eclipse and the RSX down at the bottom. This was a lot of fun, actually. It was really interesting to see what the different cars would do and how the different cars acted in the different classes. As I said, I was really, really surprised by the 205 in the lower class. I really thought I was in trouble in sort of C and B class with that. It actually worked out pretty well. Actually not too bad whatsoever. I didn't have an answer for the Mini. That thing was scary quick. I wasn't expecting that. No one was expecting that. That thing was bloody good. The Mini will take a relatively comfortable victory in this one. But yeah, it was a lot of fun to do. Very interesting results. Definitely something I might have a go with again and see what can happen. That, though, is going to be it for this video. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.